What's up, my PT peeps? One Eye Bri back to talk about The Walking Dead and do a discussion video about will the show ever end. Spoiler warning if you're not up to date on the show, the comics, or you just don't want to know. But for those who want to know or you're up to date, here we go. Now, a lot of shows are getting canceled and renewed for, the seasons that are coming up, and The Walking Dead hopefully never gets canceled. It has a renewal of Infinity Plus One that people are talking about. Why would it ever be canceled? It shouldn't. If it wants to be done, it should be on its own volition. Now, where we're at on the show is Negan versus Rick, and All Out War storyline should be amazing for Season 8. But that's far from where they're at in the comics. The source material is the graphic novel / comic, whatever you want to call it, and that's far down the road. The show will never reach the comics, as they're still making comics today, and the show takes a hiatus, but the comics do not. So the show will not catch up with the source material, so in theory, it could be never ending, right? But all good things have to come to an end. We still have to get to Alpha. We still got to get to the Whispers. We still got to get to the War of All Out War and then the Whisper of War. So there's a bunch of material coming from the comics to the show, and I can't wait. But again, the show is the show and the comic is the comic, and they take things from the show and the comic and they mix it all together, and it's one big great thing. But the comic will never be caught on the show because they're still making the comics today. So like I said, the source material can go on forever. But stuff happens in shows that cause it to cancel or to be cut or to be whatever, and it's mostly money. It's mostly issues with monetary gains by somebody, whether it be the writers or the performers or the stars or the whoever, and hopefully that never happens. But Rick, Daryl, Carol, Morgan, Carl, Michonne, all these people, we love them and we want the show to go on, but we don't want a crappy product as well. The Walking Dead has huge ratings. It rivals anything out there. It's one of the biggest shows ever in the history of cable television, just for ratings wise, if you like it or not. It's just check the stats. It's just true. And for various reasons. Now, if it was to end, how do you think it would end? Would it end with Daryl? Would it end with Rick? Would it end with Carl? Would it end with all of them? I don't know how you kill any of these three people on the show. Daryl's a huge person, Michonne and Rick. Rick and Michonne are together. That would be terrible if either of them died. And then Daryl's such a money-making machine. Carl is the big theory that's like, he'll be the last man standing. We have old man Carl. He's going to be survive it all. Rick's going to sacrifice himself eventually to protect Carl, or something's going to happen. But Carl can't do it himself. Get the heck out of here. There's no way Carl or Eugene or somebody can live without help from others. So old man Carl theory, I like it. I like the idea of him telling the story, the very end of it. I just don't know how well that would go and what season that would be. Would it be season 20? Would it be season 25? I mean, we're only coming up on season 8, so we're talking about many years down the road. And I don't know if Chandler Riggs can pull off an old man Carl. It would have to be recasted. And I hate the fact when shows and movies, when parts and characters get recast, it just is terrible. Maybe it's Carl and Enid riding out in the sunset on Daryl's bike with all the stuff, and they're riding it, and they're the last people alive. But I don't know how you kill any of these three people. Carl can live, but Rick, Daryl, and Michonne, I think, have to be there. At least two of them, right? Jesus, how is he going to die? He's a survivor. He's a badass. He can take care of himself. I don't see him putting himself in any precarious situations. He would be protecting himself in a way and be able to get in and get out. He's very sly. He's very sneaky. He's very, cunning, and would be able to escape any situation possible. I just don't know how Jesus would die as well. So I would see a group of people surviving and making it. I don't think there's ever going to be a cure. But out of the cast here, we've already lost Sasha. Who else are we going to lose? Tara, Enid, somebody? Just don't know. Down the road, you see what the writers are going to do. Maybe people want to get off the show. Maybe they just go have different projects or movies and whatever, so their character dies, or they go on hiatus like Heath, we never see again for a long time. I don't know, but this cast, Season 7 had the biggest cast of The Walking Dead of the series, and Season 8 carried over a lot of those characters too, and even picked up a few new characters. So of Season 7 into Season 8, not everyone's eventually going to make the entire series. I just don't know who. Who do you think will be the last man standing or the last group standing? I think it would be Carl and Daryl and Michonne and Jesus would probably be my people that I would think make it out at the very end. Post your comments below who you think will make it out as the last people standing. Check out my book on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Fight for Us, online, available now. My second book will be coming out very soon. It's a continuation of it. It's going to be a series, so definitely start with the first book and then that one. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter. Give me a follow on there too. Post stuff every day. Check out my campaign t-shirts. They're going on sale right now. They're going to be up for a couple weeks and then they'll be put away and they'll be shipped out. Check out our Patreon page. If you like what we do here on the channel, a donation of $1 or whatever you can give really help us out. If you can't, still love you anyway, just given the availability or the notice if you want to be able to do that. I know people have asked about it. If you like The Walking Dead, check out The Walking Dead community page on Facebook. All are welcome. If you like this channel, you like the group. If you do like this channel, guys, hit that subscribe button today. Join our team, Team PT all the way. Really help us out. Can't do it without you guys. You guys are awesome. And post your comments below about who you think will be the last people standing. And you guys are awesome.